Hey everybody, I want to wheeze them here about 9:50 Wednesday, January 8th, 2014. We have introduced three characters here tonight. We're into our Series 2s and Series 3s. Part 49 here, we're actually going to introduce characters been out for a long time, but I hadn't really gotten to do much with them. That would be Series 3 Twin Blade Chop Chop. Chop Chop's one of those characters, he's always been unique in the fact he kind of is really, actually would be the first, like defensive-based Skylander. You didn't have to go with the shield path, but if you did select Undead Defender, it was totally unique. It's actually pretty cool if you actually take the time to do it. Issue is most people go with a Vampiric Warrior and get the sword, but if you haven't taken Undead Defender, or maybe you've actually done Undead Defender every time with Chop Chop, Vampiric Warrior would come in handy, so you can kind of switch it around. That's what's cool about having the characters different times. You can explore the other paths. That said, we have Super Gulp Pop Fizz on. I'm going to pull him from the portal. We have got Twin Blade here, so I'll stick him on and we will see what happens. Back out now, and you can kind of see his intro animation. Pay attention on the Undead. They kind of did like these it's a dark background, but then if you pay attention, to the background and not the actual character, you can kind of see like some neat skulls and stuff, so be sure to look for that.
Slice and dice.
Alright, I have always liked his voice. I think really cool artwork there, but again, check out that skull. That's a nice little intro feature. I don't even think I saw those ever on TV. I have always liked his voice. I feel like it's pretty much spot on for him, but if you play Giants there in the Archean areas, you see a lot of the statues look like Chop Chop. So, that said, what does he look like jumping? You can see that there. Kind of rigid, he doesn't have like the movement of arms like we saw with some of the other characters, and that should be expected from someone like Chop Chop. You get a good look at him when you get him in the light here. You can kind of see him from the back side. Here from the front, looks just like the artwork pretty much. Primary attack, I believe, is just the Archean blade. Pretty significant damage block stock. That's 38. It's kind of important that he has really good damage here, because outside of like Bone Bramble, you don't really have that secondary, lob or projectile or anything. So, secondary attack, Shield Bash. Really can't do much of it at all without enemies. That said, you saw it actually, that wasn't me releasing A. I'm going to come in, hold A down, and you can kind of hear it time out. So there you go. That said, we're going to come in here, take a look at his bio. Before we do that though, we're going to go to Spyro's head. Okay, so he is our 100th Skylander in the game. The other night, actually last night, when I was finishing up, the renderings and uploads on the, like part 35 to 45 or something, came in, I wanted to record, I couldn't because it was like blacking out. I don't know what the heck was going on, but I just like, well, hey, what do I do here? So I just started sticking, Polar Whirlwind, Royal Double Trouble, Lightning Rod, Zap, some of the characters, that aren't in, like a swap force packaging on the portal, and just kind of built the collection up. But pretty sweet, he's at our 100. I guess you don't get anything there. I don't know, maybe if, like a certain number are all blue base or something, we will eventually. But that said, the other thing, I was curious how these register here, because I didn't ever understand why like Spyro would be separated from Dark Spyro or Legendary or the original Dark. I think now, and I guess I really hadn't put a lot of thought into it, I just assumed it was the game automatically dealing it. I think these may show up in the order you put them on the portal, so if you bought the game today and you got Stink Bomb and Rubble Rouser, and then tomorrow you went out and you got Zulu and Ninja Stealth Elf or something, which I realize you'd have her, but it's I'm trying to work here, so they actually may come up in that order. We're going to determine this here. The back row on the Undead was Ghost Roaster, highlighted because he was the last Undead I put on, and then Cinder was down there below him, but not lit up. because I haven't put any cinders on here just yet. So I'm actually going to come in here, and if Twin Blade Chop Chop is way over there, you know, below Ghost Roaster or past him and Cinder, we'll kind of feel like we've got a grasp on that. So let's come in. So far so good. He's not by Legendary Chop Chop. Yeah, so that seems to be the case. Essentially, it's a bad example, but I mean, let's say that, you know, you like the Earth Element characters, and you got Rubble Rouser yesterday along with the game for the first time. You got your Fiery Forge Battle Pack. You came in, you found Hyper Beam Prism Break somehow. You just had an awesome day yesterday. You could come in, and the first character you could put on the portal could be Dino Ring, and he should essentially, from what I'm seeing here, be the very first character in your list. So this is the Wii U version. I assume the other versions of the game let you check out your friends and everything. You could actually come in here to friends and see what they did. In fact, just to showcase that, I haven't added a lot of people here, but we'll go to Nightwing24 here. Come to his Undead. So essentially, what he did, Daryl, Rattleshake was his first on, then Night Shift, then Grim Creeper, you know, then Roller Brawl, then Cinder. Then he probably came in and got the rest of these on here. There would be Series 2 Cinder, etc. So back up there. Let's do it again. Check in here in the top one. He's got a lot of poor master rank. Alright, so again, you know, Rattleshake, Night Shift, then the 2 legendaries for him, then Light Core Grim Creeper, then Roller Brawl, and on and on. So looks like he hasn't added Fright Rider or those guys just yet, but you get the idea. I mean, that's his Twin Blade Chop Chop. Since he's got him there, that's when he put him on. You know, obviously you got the swappers on first, then the legendaries, then the Light Core, then the other brand new one, Roller Brawl, and then I guess he just put Cinder on before Chop Chop. So that's why they kind of do that. So I'm assuming that we've determined that. Again, I don't know if anyone cares, but it interests me, and that's what I did. So now I need to get back to Spyro's head, my Undead list, and cycle over here to Twin Blade Chop Chop. Now that's okay. There I am. What is going on here? There we go. I don't know why that was so hard. Anyway, slogan of Slice and Dice. Let's read his bio. Really cool artwork there. You kind of get an idea what the back of the shield looks like. Just an intimidating pose, if you will. Kind of akin to a Series 1 pose, actually. Anyway, just not up on one leg, I guess. Chop Chop was once an elite warrior belonging to the ancient race of Archean beings. Like many of the Archeans, he was created from a hybrid of elements. In his case, undead, magic, and technology. You kind of see the undead's obvious. Magic, you could kind of tie that in with like Vampiric Warrior, some of the stuff the shield does. And then technology, I would relate kind of to the shield and possibly the blade. So, you know, nonetheless, it's kind of a cool. I think a lot of people forget these early stories. Anyway, Chop Chop is a relentless, highly skilled soldier who wields a sword and shield made of an indestructible metal. Again, there's your tech. With the Archeans having vanished long ago, Chop Chop wandered Skylands for centuries looking for his creators. Eventually, he was found by Eon and recruited as a Skylander. So, very cool story there. Again, Chop Chop, I've always kind of been a fan of his. I feel like he's a little underappreciated. We're going to back out of all of this now, come into Skylander.
Does my power please you?
And again, his voice is just awesome in my opinion. Max health 300. Today is Wednesday, so it's plus 30. Speed 50 again. Guy is pretty nimble. Armor currently 24. Critical hit 3. Elemental power 88 thanks to that plus 63. We're going to back out of there, come to upgrades. What he has right now is the Archean Blade. Press Y to slash away at your enemies with this ancient blade. Press YY, hold Y for a fencing combo. That actually looks pretty cool if you execute it. Archean Shield, hold A to absorb a limited amount of damage from most attacks, also deflects projectiles. Note, most attacks, if you go out and you're battling an insanely tough enemy and you take damage while holding the shield up, don't knock the guy, fully upgrade him, you will be happy. First purchased upgrade, however, Spiked Shield Bash. The shield that was solely defensive box stock can now be used as an offensive weapon. While holding A, press Y to shield bash an enemy. Distance increases with absorbed damage. Coming up here, we've got Vampiric Aura. This is really cool, kind of when the magic comes in, I guess. The Archean Blade does extra damage, and you regain health by defeating enemies. That early on, not a soul gem, not a WowPow, not tied in with a path. Very cool. Third purchased upgrade is Shield Spartan. Move faster and block more damage while holding A. He does, when you hold A, he's kind of slow. Didn't really showcase that, I guess, but this does speed him up a little bit. Final purchased upgrade, it is the tertiary one. It is Bone Brambler. Press X to attack enemies with Bone Brambles. With Chop Chop, again, you're either going to go pure offense or pure defense, to keep it simple. If you choose to go offensive, you're going to take the Vampiric Warrior path. That's this top one here. Begins with Archean Combat Master. Press YY hold A for Archean Cyclone. Press YY hold X for Archean Leak. The Cyclone, again, you probably remember that one, and the leap is actually really cool the way he comes up in the air and then kind of slams the sword down. Next one is Archean Vorpal Blade. I actually have that embedded in my head for some reason. Sword attacks do even more increased damage. Note that it also does change the look of the sword. And finally, Demon Blade of the Underworld, perhaps one of the longest titles given to an upgrade. Swords have longer range and do maximum damage. Obviously, both of those, the range and the max damage, very good things. If you come down here, though, to it would be his Undead Defender path. Begins with Archean Spectral Shield. While holding A, press Y to release absorbed damage on your foes. I actually kind of enjoy doing this. I think it was a quest in Giants or something similar to it, and it's actually pretty efficient. Over here you've got Shield Stun Bash. Shield Bash attack stuns enemies. You can see it also changes the look of the shield. It's almost like the back end of Bowser or something. And finally, note that is supposed to be a skull, I believe, right there. But Demon Shield of the Shadows. Shield Bash does extra damage, and then the big one, absorb damage, is automatically released. You no longer have to button press or think about it, it just happens. His soul gem was kind of cool. It was called Cursed Bone Brambler. Bone Brambles deal extra damage. And now, if you say, hey, I got Series 1 and 2, I have Legendary, I don't really need a 4th Chop Chop. The pose is okay, but I can live without it. I don't have to complete my collection. Why should I get this guy? This is why. He has a WowPow, a brand new WowPow, not the Giants WowPow, but the Swap Force WowPow. It is called Dice and Slice. Hold Y to charge up dual sword mode, then release to unleash a furious 2-sword attack. I'm excited to see what that looks like, what the damage is, and again, hopefully it does not disappoint. That said, for the sake of doing it, I'm going to take you through the quests. I just feel like it needs to be done. So, defeat 1,000 enemies, eat 15 fruits and story levels or arenas. Okay, that'll be easy. Win 10 PvP. Don't take damage outside story mode. Totally maxed out. If for some reason you hated Chop Chop, you're like, man, that shield is a joke. His sword attacks are lame. He doesn't have a projectile. Yada yada. This encourages you to fully upgrade him, take him down Vampiric Warrior, Undead Defender, tweak him around, get the Soul Gem and the WowPow, and then see what you think of the guy. So keep that in mind. Elementalist costs 7,500 elemental bonus damage. Now the two big ones for the Undead element. Witherer, defeat a total of 25 life spell punks. Biggest thing there, you just gotta remember to switch to an Undead character. Then Back from the Brink, defeat a boss while at critically low health. I like this better than lose 3 times. Props to whoever tweaked that. And then lastly, I think this is the same thing it was. No, it's not. Stalwart Defender made me think it was the shield one, which we had in Giants. That's not the case. This is deal 10,000 damage using Bone Brambler. Obviously, that's his tertiary attack. If you go ahead and get the Soul Gem, you'll deal a little bit more damage, and then you'll just basically have to use it over and over and over until you get to this point. So that said, there are the arena challenges, so I'm sure they come in handy for stuff like this. That said, I don't know what that flashing is in the background. I hadn't really noticed that before, but we're gonna back out of here, back out of there. Let me go ahead. I don't feel like I did this. I think it was YY. You get the idea. Didn't land it on a dummy, but let's see what happens. Okay, I don't know that I can successfully count that, but he basically gets into a fencing stance and just goes to town on you. It's only going to do 15 with each hit, it looks like. That might have been 16 hits. Don't hold me to that. No clue what would happen if an enemy actually were to hit us. But that's one of those things, you probably sometimes accidentally do it. I feel like once he's gotten the Vampiric Warrior stuff going, you probably don't even do it much at all, but it is there, it is an option, and it's kind of cool, so keep that in mind. But this was Series 3 Twin Blade Chop Chop. Again, Chop Chop's always kind of been one of my preferred characters, just because he's so unique, and I think that brings a lot to the table in Skylanders. He's got the shield, he was really the first to have the shield, and still doing well with that. But now, with the Twin Blades, he's kind of gone an offensive route. It'll be nice to see that, kind of how it pans out. Up next, in part, 50, I believe, we'll actually do Phantom Dash Cinder, then Horn Blast Whirlwind, then Hyper Beam, then we're going to come in, we're going to knock out these, technically, 2 new swappers. It's really 3 with Quick Draw, but we'll get all those guys done. Don't have Spire Eyes yet. Shipped out today, and somehow I'm supposed to have them tomorrow. Not sure that's going to happen, but if that's the case, it'll work out really well. So that said, thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the blog, oneofwisdom.com. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and we will catch you back here for part 50 and Phantom Dash Cinder.